My peoples, my peoples, welcome to another episode of Boxing for Breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. We talking boxing, y'all. Y'all know how we do it. Let me just say, salute to my peoples, always tuning in early. Side, Toy Mafia, in the building. Fellas. The breaking news. Um, So for today's episode, we're going to be talking about Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez, which is going down next month. But there's some breaking news, which we're also going to be talking about. Kick this damn thing off with that joint. But first, let me say good morning to everybody. Y'all know what it is, man. I'm Jay Smith, and we're going to have a great show today. It's a beautiful day. I'll be telling y'all, if you woke up, it's a beautiful day. It doesn't matter if it's cold, if it's hot, if it's raining. Beautiful. Wear up, my peoples. And we're going to be talking boxing. So, Conor Benn went live, I don't know, about an hour ago, something like that. And he broke the news himself that he met up with the WBC and he's been made mandatory for the welterweight title. Yes, sir. What does that mean? Well, Conor Benn is going to be the mandatory challenger for the winner of Mario Barrios versus Ryan Garcia. Whoa. He said, listen, I'm going to come home with the title soon. So, that was unexpected. But, if you think about it, coming off of the win that he just had, they decided to pull the trigger and make him mandatory. Now, I have to say, Conor Benn, with the performance that he had versus Chris Eubank Jr., how can you really knock him? How can you say, oh, nah, he don't deserve it? Come on now. Yes, it was in a different division, but he's a welterweight fighter. That's the division that he fights in. So, I don't have a problem with them making him mandatory simply because look what he just did. And he says, hey, I can make 147 for my very next fight. Cool, you mandatory. Let's get it. I'm with it, my people. Conor Benn versus Ryan Garcia is a big fight. Conor Benn versus Mario Barrios is a big fight. And you know what? That's been a question people been asking. What's next for Conor Benn? Who is he going to fight? Well, we just found out. We don't know exactly who he's going to fight, because that's going to depend on who wins between Ryan Garcia and Mario Barrios. But it looks like it's very possible that he's fighting one of those two guys. And I'm just bringing that from the horse's mouth. Conor Benn himself, like I said, he went live and basically say, the WBC confirmed, I'm the guy. I'm the guy who's going to be mandatory for that title. So, whether Ryan Garcia or Mario Barrios wins, it looks like they're going to have to see the Destroyer next. Now, the question is going to be, can Conor Benn move down 2 divisions and for his very next fight and still be explosive, still, have power? You don't expect him to have the same power that he had, at 160, but still carry that power and be healthy. I think that's tough. Going down 2 divisions, that's tough, my peoples. It's not going to be easy. Side, damn. So the Destroyer might get Ryan before Devin can. That might happen. That might, or listen, The only way I guess that Devin can get him first is if Ryan wins and he vacates. Vacates to fight Devin and then circle back to challenge Conor. And he'll say, look, that's my title anyways, but I take it from you. That can happen. But that's it. Conor Benn officially is the WBC mandatory. It's going to happen. The winner of Ryan Garcia versus Mario Barrios is either going to vacate or they're going to have to face the Destroyer. Those are your options right there. And look, man, I've been telling everyone, Conor Benn is all about the smoke. He's all about that action. You know, like Chris Eubank Jr. is not like a one-off. Like, oh, look, he went up and... Now you're going to see him trying to fight everybody. He's going to want to fight Boots. He's going to want to fight... Well, not Boots, because Boots at 154 now. But everybody who's at the welterweight division, you're going to see Conor Benn wanting to fight him. He about that life, my peoples. Really about it. And by the way, yo, subscribe to Box Center 2.0 for the exclusive content. And the first episode of Goofiest of the Oofiest went live yesterday. Yo, one caller, one person was about that life. Tay John. Yo, salute to Tay John. First caller to Goofiest of the Oofiest. And we was talking about Terrence Crawford, whether or not he should get $100 million. You know, that's a topic of conversation right now. Whether or not Bud should get 100 mils. Listen. When you become the face of boxing and you beat Canelo Alvarez in front of over 40 million people, you can ask for $100 million. And he basically said, listen, give me my 100 mils or we don't got to fight. No problem. People gonna learn. Terrence Crawford, yo, he wealthy. That fake narrative that he need money, that he need a payday, that's crazy. Terrence Crawford been making millions of dollars for over 10 years. And he ain't been blowing his fortune either. Own properties, own businesses, endorsement deals. So, if he wants to, he don't fight another fight in his life. And he'll never have to work another day of his life if he don't want to. It's called generational wealth. People don't understand that Terrence Crawford already secured that bag. He already there. He could say, yo, I don't want to fight anymore. So therefore, once you get to that level, and you got the unique accomplishments that he has, he can afford to say, you know what? Give me what I want. We don't have to fight. If you want your rematch, because that's the thing. Besides Terrence Crawford having the bag already secured, that people don't get that, the guy, look at the accomplishments and look at the way that he won that fight. There's not a single person out there saying, yo, Canelo got robbed. Or nah, Crawford got gifted that W. Nah, we all know what happened. He made it clear. I told you guys that it was going to be clear. And that's what he did. Thus, people have to just accept it. This guy, now that he's the face of boxing, he can ask for what he wants. You don't want to give it to him, cool. We don't got to fight. That's why the rematch clause that Canelo has is irrelevant to Crawford. You can't force me to fight. I don't have to fight. And I guarantee you, it's a rematch clause that expires within a year. Ding, ding. Expires within a year. Thus, once again, either you're going to pay him what he wants, or we don't got to fight. Side. Damn. Side. But don't unification trump mandatories? No, unification do not trump mandatories at all. And I'm explaining to you why, side. Remember, if you're with the WBC and I'm with the WBA, we will never be mandated to fight each other, ever. The only way that we'll fight each other is if we both want to and we both agree. Then we can fight each other. So mandatory is always going to exceed a unification. In fact, if my sanctioning body wants me to fight a mandatory and I want to fight you, they could just strip me for the title and I'll fight you without a title. And that has happened in boxing. We've seen it. I can't say, an example off the top of my head, but that has happened. Side, do you know Pacquiao? I heard of him. But should Canelo retire? Buddy back. Should Canelo retire? Nah, I don't think he should retire, man. He took a loss. But Canelo, he's still a great fighter. He's still one of the best in the game. He lost to Terence Crawford. He lost to the new face of boxing. But when somebody loses at the highest level, it doesn't mean that he should retire. Because I guarantee you, 9 out of 10 people that step in the ring with Canelo Alvarez, they're going to lose. He's going to beat them. So, I would say a fighter needs to retire if they out there getting pummeled. Oh, nah, bro. He out there getting pummeled. Hang it up, bro. Hang it up. We don't need to see you end up with brain damage and all of that. You're getting pummeled out there. If you see a fighter, 2, 3 fights in a row getting battered, you're like, nah, bro, this not cool. You putting yourself through battery. But in the case of Canelo Alvarez, look, think about it. He's lost to Floyd Mayweather, arguably the greatest of all time, Dimitri Bivol, one of the greatest of this era, and Terence Crawford, the new face of boxing. So it's not like he's losing to anybody. He's losing to the best out there. Booty, what's next for Terence Crawford? I mean, he said he won $100 million to fight Canelo Alvarez, to fight that rematch. So I guess we're going to see how that plays out. If they decide to give him his $100 million, then Canelo Alvarez is going to be next. If they don't give him that $100 million, then I think he goes to 160. I think Johnny Beck might be his next opponent. And listen, Johnny Beck is a big dude. You seen the pictures of him and Crawford next to each other? He a big dude. And he can fight. A lot of people have avoided him. So, folks don't understand how bold it is for Terence Crawford to say, I'm going to fight this guy. I'm going to fight you. But that's just what he is. That's who he is. That's what he's about. So I expect Terence Crawford to either get the huge bag for the Canelo Alvarez rematch or move down to 160 and fight Johnny Beck. And let me just tell you, bro, any suggestions about Crawford fighting dudes at 154 or dudes at 175 or even staying at 168 is delusional. He's already made it clear that he got his eye on Johnny Beck and the 160 division, which makes perfect sense because that will make him a 6th division champion. So it's delusional to say, oh, go to 154 and win a title in a division that you already got a title. Like, when he's trying to keep adding to those accomplishments. So either rematch for $100 million or 160, Johnny Beck. Agent 17. Morning, Jay Smith. Box Center family. Salute, my brother. Bam. Daniel Negron. Do you know how much Crawford got paid with the Canelo fight? I don't know, because the number that was floated around was supposedly 10 million and I've heard supposedly it was 40. But I don't know. I think I heard Crawford himself say it was 10 million, if I'm not mistaken. But I don't know if maybe there was other money involved or look, Agent 17 heard, 50 and so honestly, I just don't know. I've heard different figures. Agent 17, he only got paid 1/3 of what Canelo got paid. And now he the face of boxing. MAW in the building. My brother, salute. Bam. So, again, and MAW made a good talking point yesterday, by the way, on Goofiest of the Oofiest. He said that it's going to be hard for, for somebody to want to pay Crawford that $100 million. Who's going to want to pay it? And it's true. Everybody, every promotional company or everyone out there is not willing to dish out $100 million. But when you're the face of boxing, and I said this before, and I guarantee you that's how it plays out. You either give me my money or we don't got to fight. That's simple. I'm not interested in fighting you. You interested in fighting me. I whooped your ass and everybody saw it. Over 40 million people. So if you want to get your get back, you know the number. You know how much I got to get paid. That's why in this instance, a rematch clause is irrelevant. It's irrelevant. And I don't have the details, but I promise you, 99% sure that this rematch clause expires in a year. Stay inactive for a year and then say, yeah, now I'm going to fight. I don't got to fight you unless you want to give me my money. So you have to understand, if you watch what happened in the first fight, out of these two fighters, who you think won a rematch? Who you think want to fight again and get their get back? Obviously, the guy who lost, the guy who won, he good. Terence Crawford's stock skyrocketed. World tours, photo shoots, endorsement deals. Man, before you know it, we're going to see Terence Crawford in another movie real soon. And having even a bigger role than the last time. Agent 17. MAW, sorry, Agent, just realized. My peoples, yo, y'all need to hit that like button. Y'all ducking. Golly, 4 likes in 20 plus minutes. Nah. Y'all ain't got to do me like this. But I digressed. This rematch here is going to cling on whether or not they're going to give Crawford his money. Give him his $100 million. That's what I say. That's my take. Give him his $100 million. Or you can't get the rematch. Come on now. No rematch. No 100 millions. No rematch. I'm sorry. Y'all got to keep it moving. Keep it percolating. The face of boxing needs to get paid. My peoples, January 31st, Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez is going down. That's next month. That's it. Next month, we're going to get this fight. And listen, man, the receipts are there. The receipts are there. I've been calling for this fight before they were even in conversations. I've been saying this fight needs to happen. And I cannot believe how much pushback I was getting. People saying, nah, Teofimo Lopez, he should go fight Subriel Matias, and he should go fight somebody else. This fight doesn't make sense. I'm like, what the fuck? They hate Shakur so bad that they don't want him to get these fights. Because deep down inside in their heart, they know what this win does for Shakur. They know this win debunks all the bullshit that they've been saying about Shakur Stevenson forever. Since forever, you've been hating. So you don't want him to get this win. Now you're going to be praying and hoping Shakur loses. Because, yes, Shakur's one of the most hated fighters in boxing right now. And imagine what's going to happen when he beat him. Now, you know, but that's just only one big win that he got. That's just only one. How many more you need to understand how great he is? Put a number on it, buddy. Daniel Negron. Jay, who you got winning with Teo versus Stevenson? Oh, Shakur Stevenson's going to win that fight. Shakur's going to win that. Look, all the respect in the world for Teofimo Lopez. You know, I know he can fight. He is one of the best fighters of this generation. He's a great fighter. That's, you know, a great way to describe him. But he's in there with Teofimo Lopez. He's in there with Shakur Stevenson. And then Shakur being also a great... They're both special fighters. But Shakur Stevenson is special-er. I don't even know if that's a word, but it is what it is. MAW. Canelo maybe not like these other fighters interested in fighting just for name. He might see leverage in belts. He might see leverage in belts for max money and legacy. But the boys in Buzz Court, and if Turkey willing to pay to make it happen. Nah, I mean, I will say right now the ball's going to be in Canelo's court because already Crawford gave him his number. He already said, listen, give me this or we not fighting. The ball's in his court. Y'all going to make it happen? No? Keep it moving. That's it. He already told them what the deal is. MAW. We'll enjoy it. We see Bud versus Canelo rematch. The first, if we get it. Like I told you, bro. Right now, the ball's in Canelo's court. It's in Turkey's court. Y'all already know the number. Y'all want to do business, hit me. If you don't, I'm going to have to go to 160 and keep accomplishing my greatness. Y'all go do something else over there. But you're not going to get this get back and the whole world going to know I whooped your ass. Age of 17. I guarantee Turkey going to have Canelo some pressure in negotiations. If Canelo versus Bud rematch, Canelo might go down. I got Crawford 100%. I mean, Crawford's going to win the fight. I think he does win it in a more devastating fashion. You know, it'll be a more sustained beating than what we saw in that first fight. Because I know that there were moments where Crawford was also cautious because you're in there with a great fighter, right? And you have to respect that. But you see how Crawford put them hands on him in round number 9? I think we'll see a lot more of that in the rematch. Because, look, when a fighter is outclassed, there just isn't a lot that they could do. There's a lot that they could try. You know, there's a lot that you can... But when you're outclassed, it's different. It's different. The guy in front of you is faster than you. He got better reflexes than you. He got more moves than you. It's different when you're in that type of fight, the rematch doesn't get any better for you because he already saw the things that he can do to outclass you. That's it. That rematch, people would like it to play out differently, especially those who had Canelo knocking Crawford out. Damn, man, I hope this time he can do it. He can adjust. He can... Nah, it plays out the same way, but worse. He got outclassed. Listen, a guy doesn't go from getting outclassed to then winning the rematch. You get outclassed, you're getting beat up. Beat up. MAW would enjoy Canelo rematch, but Bud versus 160 champ is my first preference. What is Adames doing? So, I don't know what's going on with Carlos Adames. I actually spoke to him via DM recently. He told me that he's working on something, that he was going to get with me soon to let me know, but I don't know. I know that he's training real hard, but I don't know. I don't know what's next for him. We do know that Johnny Beck is already locked in with Erislandy Lara. So Adames could either be preparing to fight the winner for, for undisputed fight, for undisputed championship fight, or I don't know what Adames is getting ready for. I don't know. Since Terrence Crawford already called out Johnny Beck, I don't know if he's going to go down to 160 and go straight away for Carlos Adames. But they're familiar with each other. We've seen the viral sparring video between them. So, and they was trading leather. They was giving each other good work. Age 17. Agreed. I want to see Johnny Beck versus Bud. I like that fight. And I think Johnny Beck is going to beat Erislandy Lara. Man, I keep betting against Lara and he keep proving me wrong. But I think this is it right here. Silas B. J. Smith. Good morning, my brother. Salute, family. Bam. Clarence McLean. Yo, salute, my people. J. Smith. Family. Bam. Check it. Check it. Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur Stevenson is going down. It's going down. That's the inevitable next month. But my peoples, tell me what y'all think. Damn, where that image at, man? I got lost over here somewhere. Tell me what you guys think about Terrence Crawford wanting $100 million. Come on, man. $100 million to fight Canelo Alvarez in a rematch. I say give him his money. MAW. Teo versus Shakur could be fire. We'll answer a question. Elevate one and press reset button for the other. Hopefully, a unification follows. We'll see. So, when it comes to that fight, I think we're going to see the usual narrative. We have two young, great fighters at the top of their game, very accomplished. Neither one is even 30 years old yet. And obviously, somebody has to win, somebody has to lose. That's the way the cookie crumbles. Guess what? The one who loses, you're going to see a bunch of people saying, oh, he's a hype job. He ain't all that. You see, he got exposed. That's always the case. But at the end of the day, when the fight is over, there's still going to be two great fighters. And whichever one loses will still go on to accomplish more. Teofimo loses. Guess what? He's going to win another title. I'm not saying he'll win a rematch. He's going to go on and win another title and win have more accomplishments in the resume. So it is what it is. Boxing is a what have you done for me lately sport. So as soon as somebody take a L, there goes the crowd of people that's going to diminish them, discredit them, and all of that stuff. But we have two great fighters. We have a lot of great fights, my people. Have a lot of great fights coming up. But give Terrence Crawford his $100 million. This is a $100 million picture right here. That's $100 million. That's what that looks like. Agent 17. I mean, if Canelo got 150, why not give Bud 100? Give him 100 mils. That's what I'm talking about. MAW, Johnny Beck versus Lara. It's a fight I want to see. Most upcoming card, just for fact that I want to see Bud versus the winner. Man, listen. Johnny Beck versus Lara is going to be a competitive fight. It's going to be a good fight. And Lara keeps proving me wrong because I think he's 40 years old right now, if I'm not mistaken. At 40 years old, he keeps proving me wrong. I keep saying, yo, he's going to lose. He's getting older. That's it. And he keeps winning. He keep doing it. So, I'm saying we're going to get Crawford versus Johnny Beck because I'm expecting Johnny Beck to win. But if Lara wins that fight, we might get Crawford versus Erislandy Lara. Here's the deal, though. There's two different scenarios that can play out, and I don't know which one is actually going to happen. Number one, the winner of Johnny Beck versus Lara fights Carlos Adames to become undisputed. And then Terrence Crawford fights the undisputed champion. That's what I expect to happen. if Crawford gets $100 million and he's going to fight the rematch with Canelo. But if they don't give him his money, then Crawford could fight Johnny Beck, who at that point would have 3 titles. And then go for Carlos Adames. Or, like I said, they can do their thing first and Crawford just show up and take everything all at once. There's options. There are options for Terence Crawford. Give him his $100 million. Now, this fight is going down next month. And you guys know that Shakur Stevenson is one of the fighters that gets the most hate in boxing. There's no getting around it. There is no getting around it. He's one of the most hated fighters in the game. People didn't want to see Shakur get this fight. Every time I did a poll, and I did multiple, some of you may have been here when I did them. Shakur hand, salute my brother. Every time I did a poll saying, yo, y'all want to see Teofimo fight Shakur or somebody else? People always pick somebody else. Nah, go fight Subriel Matias, or he should fight this guy, he should fight that other guy. It's like, damn, yo. Y'all hate Shakur Stevenson that much that you don't want him to get the fight? You don't want him to get the fight that's going to shut down all your hater narrative all at once? 21, green light. After the team of female Lopez fight, if Shakur win, do you think you should fight Devontae Davis and then move up to 140? This is at 140. They fighting at 140. Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez. Shakur's moving up to fight at 140. And Tank Davis already said he was going to fight at 140. Before the whole thing with Jake Paul, Tank had actually said, I'm either going to move up to 140 or I'm going to fight Manny Pacquiao. Well, Manny Pacquiao ended up going in a different direction. And, you know, the situation with Jake Paul didn't work out. So let's see who Tank is going to fight next. That's the magic question. Obviously, you know, right now he doesn't have an opponent lined up. We don't know when he's coming back. I do believe that we'll see him in 2026 at some point. He hasn't said, I'm retired. It's something that he has considered, that he has thought about. But remember, when we talk about the best fighters in the division and all of that stuff, the reason why a lot of times Tank Davis is not coming up in those conversations is because we don't know what's going to be his next move. We don't know if he's going to take a break, take a year break, take a few months, or come back soon. But Tank Davis, we all know, is one of the best in the game. So I want to see who he's going to fight next. Because the 140 division is stacked. Remember, Gary Antoine Russell is one of the champions in the division. Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson, they're going to be fighting for some belts. So 140 is just a dangerous division right now. And then you add Tank Davis. Yo, add Tank Davis into that mix. The 140 division is a powder keg, y'all. Ready to explode. But January 31st, come on, let the chips fall where they may. Shakur's about to shut down the haters. Shakur hands, 40 nasty. Listen, the 140 division is a powder keg, bro. Problems, it's problems. If you're up and coming fighter, man, and you're at 140, man, you're really going to have to wait a long time before you test the waters like that. But 140, you're going to see the guy in Shakur Stevenson. And what a way to make his debut versus Teofimo Lopez. This is going to be, look, let me show you. People expected Canelo to knock Crawford out. We saw what Crawford did to him. People expected Chris Eubank Jr. to knock Conor Benn out. We saw the type of hands Conor Benn put on Chris Eubank Jr. And now, people are going to say that Teofimo Lopez is going to put the beats on Shakur Stevenson. Well, guess what? You're going to see Shakur putting on a clinic. See, and I told you guys before, those are career-defining wins. When you're at the highest level and people are saying that this guy's gonna beat you, people putting money up, this guy's gonna beat you, a lot of people, and you still whoop that ass, oh well, career-defining win, buddy. That's when the tides shift. That's when the haters take the most crushing blow. Because Shakur Stevenson haters, they took a devastating blow when he beat William Zepeda. Make no mistake about it. That was devastating. Imagine when you sit there talking about Zepeda's gonna knock him out. Shakur got brittle hands. Zepeda's gonna beat him up. And then Shakur pummeled him from inside of the phone booth. What do you think? That's a crushing blow. Terrence Crawford haters, they took a crushing blow when he beat Canelo Alvarez the way that he did it. He was supposed to get knocked out. Conor Benn haters, they took a devastating blow when he beat Chris Eubank Jr., which I was saying. So that's what you call a career-defining win. When a fighter is able to beat the guy that a lot of you thought could beat him. Now, it's hard for me to even think what excuses people gonna come up with for this one. Because the funny thing is, when boxing fans, when we turn into psychologists and sidekicks, and fans say stuff like, nah, you know, he lost, but, you know, his mind game in the head, he wasn't right because, you know, he just wasn't the same. Like, who's ever the same when they getting their ass whooped? Bro, if you're used to seeing somebody always winning and they're getting their ass whooped, of course they're not gonna look the same. It's gonna be different every single time. Go look at every single undefeated fighter when they lost that first fight. And in most cases, they're not going to look the same, bro. You used to seeing them win. You used to seeing them knocking people out. Now you watching them getting their ass whooped. You expect them to look the same while taking a beating? You're not supposed to look the same. Superman, bam. Come on, my people. That's the way the cookie crumbles. When you getting your ass whooped, it's going to look different. It wasn't about your mind wasn't right and you wasn't there and your heart wasn't in it. It's that you got your ass whooped because somebody in front of you was better than you. I'm the one that's trying to teach everybody this. The better fighter wins. All of that stuff that people come up inside their heads, you know, that people formulate inside their heads, it doesn't really matter. The better fighter just wins. What happened?
Can you get a bottle?
Okay. I'll go right now. People just have to learn how to digest it better. You know, if you make a prediction and your prediction doesn't work out, you have to learn how to process that. Instead of just figuring out, oh no, what happened is that he wasn't the same, because he was thinking different for this fight and it just didn't look the same. No. Got his ass whooped. That's all there's to it, my peoples. And let me tell you something. If I show you my fight in the amateurs that I won in the Golden Glove, my couple of fights that I won, and well, I don't have video of it, unfortunately. But if I could show you video of my fights when I won and my fight when I lost, yo, I don't look the same either. I don't look the same. Now, granted, I won in the amateurs when I was 17 years old, and I lost as a pro when I'm 44. So obviously, it's true. I am washed up. Definitely stepped in the ring washed. But still, even being washed, there's things that I could have done that it was harder to do because of my age. Here we go. So all I'm saying is, right now, we're going to get two fighters who are in their prime. Neither one of these guys, BYO, salute my brother, neither one of these guys is 30 years old. Both of them multi-division champions. Both of them, have, been doing it for a long time, been winning. And look what we're going to get now. We're finally going to get them two facing each other. And, man, I'm glad that we're getting this fight. A lot of people didn't want it to happen. They just don't want to see Shakur get that opportunity. And it's going to be, this right here is going to be a career-defining win for Shakur. Remember, I told you that. Career-defining. One of those fights where people think you're going to lose and you whoop that ass. Wally, what's up, Jay? What's the deal, my G? Bam! Yo, we talking about Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez, man. It looks like this fight is about to... Well, it don't look like this fight is about to go down next month, January 31st. Whoa. 21 green light. I think Shakur Stevenson could beat him by decision. Oh, no, he's going to win that fight. Shakur is going to win that fight. Give me a second, my peoples. I'll be right back. Let me give something to my son real quick. Brian. So, my peoples, again, this fight is going down next month, and it's going to be a career-defining win, because you guys know that in this social media era, the narrative is always that you haven't fought nobody and that you haven't beat nobody until you beat a star. Like for you to beat somebody, it has to be a big star. If not, you haven't beat nobody, which is actually foolish. If you look at Shakur's resume, Shakur has a solid resume, beating some real good opponents, and even beating champions and beating guys who went on to become champions after he beat them. So, man, listen, Shakur's resume is one of the best. In the young fighters, he got one of the best resumes in the game. But, social media fans, they don't respect the resume, because the focus is, he got to beat a star. He got to be somebody that's famous. He got to be somebody with a big name. If not, well, so now he's going to fight Teofimo Lopez. What's going to be the next narrative? What's going to be the next thing that they're going to say about Shakur Stevenson if he beats Teofimo Lopez. Oh, he only done it once though. He only got one big win. They're gonna start saying something like that. Or the all-time classic hater favorite go-to. Nah, yo, Teofimo, man, he didn't look the same, man. It looked like he wasn't right in the head, man. There was probably something wrong with him. You know, yeah, Shakur got it, but nah, Teofimo got to be going through something. He just didn't look right. That's my favorite one right there. When people go in the fighter's mind and decide what was going on. MAW, Father Time is undefeated. That's facts. That is facts. Wally Ama, these guys will bring out the absolute best out of each other. Shakur will show levels of greatness that he hasn't shown before. Of course. He's finally going to get that fight with somebody that's going to push him to the limit. I believe that this could even be the first time that Shakur faced adversity. Whether it's hitting the canvas or getting stunned and having to bounce back, having to make adjustments. But I feel like this right here is when Shakur's just absolutely gonna just put the beats on Teofimo Lopez and on the haters. The haters are gonna feel like they're getting beat up. Because, you know, think about it. People been hating on this time all this time about how he don't fight nobody, he ain't beat nobody. Well, it's gonna be tough to continue with that narrative after this win. What new narrative people gonna come up with? That's the thing. Once that narrative that Shakur ain't beat nobody gets debunked, what's gonna be the next one? Shakur Hands, you see Shakur in camp with sparring, he'll be okay. Listen, man, Shakur Stevenson is making his debut in the 140 division versus Teofimo Lopez. And if you notice, ain't nobody even giving him credit for that. Ain't nobody even giving him credit for that. Didn't Boost move up to 154 and get a tune-up? He got a tune-up, right? Shakur moving up to 140, going straight for Teofimo Lopez. The biggest gun in the division. That's what we're going after. So, what can I tell you, man? People just don't understand for whatever reason. They don't want to understand that Shakur is the guy. He's a special fighter. And he's going to show it once again. He's going to, on January 31st, he's going to do to Teofimo Lopez and to the haters similar to what he did to William Zepeda. Did him in convincing fashion. And then the people that said that he was going to be running from Zepeda, that Zepeda was going to be chasing him down, that Zepeda was going to beat him up. What happened with them? Looking goofy as hell. Looking like a bunch of goofballs. Be honest. Be honest. If you said that Shakur was going to get beat up by Zepeda because he got brittle hands. He got the brittle hands. Zepeda's going to beat him up. And Zepeda's going to walk him down. He don't got nothing for Zepeda to respect him. Beat him up. Beat him up. What say you about that? You look like a goofball. If that was your whole logic, you look like a goofball. You should have been on goofiest of the oofiest. Shakur Hands. We see him and Bud with those big gloves on. And listen, Shakur Stevenson, he been working with Bud. He been developing with Bud for years. It's like, yo, Teofimo Lopez, he cooked. He might as well get in there with Bud. Cooked. It's one of those type of situations like, yo, that bag is going to be worth it, but you're getting cooked. And look, no disrespect to Teofimo Lopez. I say, you know, he's won of the greatest fighters of this era already. He's one of those guys. You see the accomplishments, you see the resume, and Teofimo Lopez been showing us that he's really about that life, that he's really about that smoke. You know, Tank Davis didn't fight Shakur, Ryan Garcia didn't fight Shakur, Rollies didn't fight Shakur. Nobody fought him. And Teofimo Lopez, the first one to say, let's get it. Let's get it. Both in their 20s, both in their prime, both reigning world champions. Shakur at 135, Teofimo at 140. This is a heck of a fight. This is a big fight. Come on now. Gabriel Corona, MMA, better twin. Wasting your time talking about a dude who runs around the ring for the whole fight. Who did you watch Shakur versus William Zepeda? You must have been disappointed because he beat the shit out of Zepeda from inside of a phone booth. But it is what it is. You know, if you prefer watching two guys hug it out for 50 minutes in the floor, that's your thing. Do you, buddy? Shakur hands. Yo, Wally's in the building, bro. But, yo, Shakur Stevenson working with Teofimo Lopez is going to be special. You know, he's going to go to work. Know that. Age of 17. You mean the sport where the two main event had 20-minute control time and stole the whole fight? Man, listen, two guys rolling around the floor. Get the hell out of here. I fall asleep watching people rolling around. Age of 17. I hate to be whoever paid for those pay-per-views. Oh, man. I'd be gutted. I'd be devastated. I would feel bamboozled, hoodwinked, run amok. All of it at once. But we digressed. This fight right here, who's going to be the favorite? Who's going to be the favorite to win this fight, my peoples? Come fight night, Shakur Stevenson undefeated, but moving up from 135. Teofimo Lopez got that 1L in his resume, but he's the champion. Who's going to be the favorite to win this fight? And I'm talking about the betting favorite. 21 green light. Shakur Stevenson is going to be the favorite. Age of 17. Teo, probably a slight favorite for the fans, but Vegas gonna say Shakur. Whoa. I'm interested in seeing. Because remember, Brian Norman Jr. was the favorite against Devin Haney. He was the favorite. You know, Devin Haney moving up, challenging the world champion. The champion was the favorite. So now Teofimo Lopez, Shakur Stevenson, we're going to see. I'm looking forward to seeing who's going to be the betting favorite. See how much money Shakur can make us. And by the way, this is not going to be one of those fights where nobody got robbed, where people are going to say, oh, he got robbed, oh, they took it from him, Nah. This is the reason why I'm trying to tell you that they're going to have to give Crawford his $100 million or there's no fight. Bait the shit out Canelo. Shakur hands. Jay, I just realized why your show fire. You got the old school and new school from NY to DR. Best of both worlds. I think there's a little something of both. There's a little sunshine on both sides right there. I ain't gonna cap. I ain't gonna lie. Le van a caer trompa a Shakur Stevenson. Yeah. If you want to hear it in Spanish, Shakur Stevenson le va a caer trompa limpia. That's it. It's not going to be no more ways for people to keep hating. How are you going to be able to? The whole narrative that he ain't fight, that he ain't beat nobody, which is delusional, by the way. It's delusional. But now when he beat the guy in the 140 division, oh well. Oh well. And I'm going to say something. Devin Haney followed the Shakur Stevenson blueprint. And you know how that was? How he followed it? Very simple. Think about William Zepeda. Think about William Zepeda versus Shakur Stevenson. What was the narrative when it came to that fight? Well, that William Zepeda was going to chase him down, that Shakur Stevenson was going to be running, that Zepeda was going to cut the ring, that Shakur Stevenson didn't have anything to keep him off of him. That's the funniest and most hilarious shit boxing fans say. This world champion, he don't got nothing to keep him off of him. Goofball shit. But that was the narrative, that Shakur is going to be running and Zepeda is going to be chasing him. Zepeda himself said, I know how he fights and I'm going to catch him and I'm going to beat him up. Guess what? Shakur didn't do nothing like what the haters expected. Instead, he fought Zepeda inside of the phone booth for 12 rounds and put the beats on him. Made him look like a McDonald's third shift supervisor who boxes part-time. You wasn't expecting that, right? You wasn't expecting Shakur to fight like that. Neither was Zepeda. Got beat up. So, how did Devin Haney follow the same blueprint? Look at the fight. People thought he was going to run. Brian Norman Jr. was going to chase him down. Norman Jr. told him, you don't got nothing for me. Walked into that fight like he was just going to do Devin Haney in. And the second round, Brian Norman Jr. in that second round tried to walk into the front living room of Devin Haney's house. And Devin Haney said, oh, you want to walk in the front door? Come over here. Escorted him to the kitchen, opened the first drawer, showed him to a left uppercut and a right hook to the mouthpiece, and then gave him another one to the dome piece, and showed him the canvas on the kitchen floor. So Devin Haney was on there on some other type of time than what people thought he was going to be on. Oh, they thought he was going to be running and getting chased and walked down. Beat him up. The same blueprint that Shakur used on Zepeda. This is a big win for Devin Haney. But think about this. Devin Haney moves up to the welterweight division and beats Brian Norman Jr. That's a big win. Big win. Shakur Stevenson moves up to the 140 division and beats Teofimo Lopez. What's the bigger win out of those two? You tell me. Don't go too crazy. Don't let it sizzle in your spirit if you need to. Devin Haney moving up to welterweight to beat Brian Norman Jr. or Teofimo Lopez moving up to 140 to beat Teofimo Lopez. What's the bigger win? Y'all can tell me. MAW. How far is the closest boxing gym in your area, Jay? How much gyms close by? How far the closest place to catch pro DR boxing? Not from my house. The closest gym is probably like a 20-minute drive from my house. The closest boxing gym that I know about, both of them to closest, probably like a 15-20-minute drive. They close. Professional boxing too, not that far. But, I go to different cities for different cards. All the cards are not going to be in my city. That's like, if you're in the U.S. and you live in Vegas, if the fights are in Vegas, you're going to catch them. But if the fight is in New York City, everybody's not going to catch a plane for a fight, or drive that many hours or catch a bus or whatever. So it's the same here. Some fights are close, some fights are far. Shakur hands. Due to accomplishments. Ace, salute, family. That you see, I agree with you 100%, Shakur hands. I agree with you 100%. Ace, love, family. I don't know. Teo got beat by Cambozes. But who would you say is a bigger name a bigger fighter and a more accomplished fighter between Teofimo Lopez and Brian Norman Jr.? Who would you put in the rankings as a bigger win? Orange Man Fan Club. Teo is the bigger win because they're both superstars. See, there you have it. Teo is a bigger star than Brian Norman Jr. He's more accomplished than Brian Norman Jr. Like, by far. Remember, Norman Jr. won his first title, defended it, and then lost. Teofimo Lopez, has unified titles in multiple divisions and beating top dogs. So, beating Teofimo Lopez is going to outdo Devin Haney's win over Brian Norman Jr. He's going to outdo him. Remember, once upon a time, Shakur Stevenson climbed the ring on Devin Haney, and Devin was like, I'm number one. And Shakur was like, not for long, and smiled at him. So, big win, monster win for Devin Haney. Well, just a couple months later, Shakur Stevenson is going to get a bigger win. Bigger win. Shakur Hands beat Loma and Taylor. Come on now. Shakur. Teofimo Lopez, he's one of the guys. He's one of the best of this generation. He's one of the most accomplished of this generation. So this is going to be a monster win, although you're going to find people who look for a way to discredit it. But here we go. For the people that said Shakur Stevenson didn't beat nobody, Shakur Stevenson didn't do this and that, look what he about to do. Orange Man Fan Club. Casuals don't know Brian Norman Jr. Now, Brian Norman Jr. is not on the level of stardom where Teofimo Lopez is at, for sure. And the resume is not there either. He still, I do believe that Norman Jr. is going to accomplish more. He's going to win another world title and just do more. I don't think he's done. But as of right now, Teofimo Lopez is the guy in the 140 division. Make no mistake about it. There's no getting around it. Mr. Tommy Gunn, 1975, Teofimo Lopez is special. All facts, bro. All facts. There ain't no getting around that. Ramirez, you're right. I don't know Shakur Stevenson. This ain't no Zepeda, Teofimo, one of them guys, whether people like it or not. Oh, no. Teofimo Lopez is a special fighter. He is a special fighter, but I don't know why you say he not Zepeda. Nobody compared him to Zepeda. Nobody said that he was Zepeda. You're kind of arguing against yourself with that one. Age of 17. Y'all keep forgetting Shakur used to train with Tank and Floyd. He been trained by the best. He getting in reps with Crawford and Bomac in too. Come on, man. Crazy Horse. Nap time. Oh, shit, man. If it's nap time, welcome to the black party. Hold on. I'm going to unhide you. Ramirez, you're right, Jay. Norman for sure will win more titles. I believe it. I think Brian Norman Jr. is somebody who simply was in there with somebody who's more experienced. That's all it was. He was in there with somebody that was more experienced. And honestly, Devin Haney is just a better boxer. It played out the way that it was supposed to. Son of Vaughn, Shakur wins boxing match round by round, but Teo will outfight him and run him off in a competitive bout. And rough him up in a competitive bout. So I think it is going to, you're right about that, being competitive. I can see, it playing out where Teofimo Lopez has his moments. And even, I said it, this could be the first time that we see Shakur Stevenson face adversity. whether it's get dropped or get wobbled or have to make adjustments because he's getting caught with something. This could be it right here. But ultimately, Shakur Stevenson is going to do what he does and walk out of there with the W. That's just the way it's going down. Age of 17, it'll definitely be a competitive fight. That's why I got Shakur by decision. And then that's why I'm saying, imagine that. Devin Haney got a monster win versus Brian Norman Jr. last month. And next month, Shakur Stevenson is going to get a bigger win versus Teofimo Lopez. Take that to the bank to get some pounds. Shakur hands. WB guard. I don't know what the hell all that stand for, bro. Golly. WB guard. J. Bro, I'm 47 years old. I don't know what the hell that means. But I do know that Shakur Stevenson gonna whoop him, bro. I'm sorry. I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. My peoples, I hope y'all seen the breaking news. Conor Benn has been made mandatory for the welterweight WBC title. What do you think about that? Conor Benn being the mandatory for the WBC strap means that he's going to fight the winner of Ryan Garcia versus Mario Barrios for that title. Ramirez, I feel Shakur's biggest flaw, he doesn't let his hands go enough and he relies on defense too much. But that's not a flaw if he's winning fights. It would be a flaw if he's losing. If you say, look, he lost a fight because he didn't do this, then it would be a flaw. But if he's winning, if he's undefeated, bro, that's not a flaw. That's not a good flaw. You're not pointing out a flaw at all. Now, if you're calling out a flaw as far as entertaining you, then you could say, well, it doesn't entertain me the way he does it. But that's not a flaw at all. That's actually great. If you could win a fight throwing 20 punches around, that's great. You will fight till you're 40 winning fights. You're not getting the wear and tear. You're not getting hit. You're not using as much energy. You're not putting as much pressure on your body. That's great. If you could win fights 10 punches around, you might not enjoy it. But damn. And that's a fake narrative, Ramirez, because look at the punch output against Zepeda. The reality is that you don't like Shakur, so you're looking for flaws. Since he's perfect in the ring, and there are none, you got to find flaws that don't even exist. Oh, well, he don't throw enough punches for me, so that's a flaw. That's not a flaw at all. You don't like it, cool, but did you see the punch output versus Zepeda? You forgot about that fight. Did you see the punch output versus... Damn. Did you see the punch output versus Oscar Valdez? Did you see the punch output versus Jamel Herring? But when you're a hater of a fighter, you're going to act like his whole career was Edwin De Los Santos. I'm surprised you haven't even brought that up yet. It's like how you still bringing up Gamboa wobbling Crawford over 10 years ago. I'm waiting for you to say, nah, look, with De Los Santos, he didn't throw that many punches. Fake narrative built by haters and still being spread by y'all. Underrated will. I think Teo will give Shakur a test, but Shakur wins. It's going to be a competitive fight. We have to accept it. Razor Eater, I can't even throw a punch. I'm telling you, man. Like, fake narratives when people hate on a fighter. You gotta watch them keep accomplishing while you push a fake narrative. Oh, Booger, salute my brother. Bam, in the building. We on it. The League 24. I watch Conor Benn versus anybody. He comes to fight. Man, listen. He already said that the WBC made it official. He was in a meeting with them. Went live right after leaving that meeting and announced it. He's the mandatory for that WBC title. I'm assuming that it's already been posted by the Ring Magazine, The Zone, and Eddie Hearn, and everybody else. It's probably already been posted. I don't know because I'm live with you guys, but I'm pretty sure it's been posted. I posted it myself. As he was doing the live, I was like, oh no, we got to talk about this. We got to bring this up. So it's going to be super interesting to see how this situation is going to develop. Because think about this. If Ryan Garcia wins versus Mario Barrios, Devin Haney's going to want that unification fight. Let that sizzle in your spirit, my peoples. Devin Haney is going to want to do that unification fight. But Ryan Garcia or Mario Barrios, whoever wins, they would have to pay Conor Benn step aside money to be able to do that unification fight. Let that sizzle in your spirit. Al Booger, I don't like him, but gotta give Teo credit. He's gonna have Loma and Shakur on his resume after this. Well, he's gonna take a L to Shakur Stevenson, but he's gonna be competitive. It's not like he's just gonna get beat up. It's not like he's gonna get washed. It's gonna be, a fight where he's gonna have his moments, but ultimately Shakur Stevenson is gonna handle business. That's just the reality, bro. I just gotta give it to you how it's gonna play out. That's just what it is. Gonna be a good fight though. Now, who is Conor Benn gonna end up fighting next? Is Conor Benn gonna end up in the ring with Ryan Garcia in a slugfest, or will it be Mario Barrios? And that would also be, fireworks from round number 1. Al Booger, I agree. It's going to be a tough fight, but I'm picking Shakur too. Wes Dussett, good morning, Jay Smith and chat. Salute, my brother. Appreciate you dropping in. Listen, man, Conor Benn, that's the type of fight at the welterweight division that I think we all want to see. We all want to see him face these guys and see how it plays out. Ryan Garcia, you remember that he had that little back and forth with him. They ran into each other, and I want you guys to think about this. When Conor Benn ran into Ryan Garcia, he almost looked like he was trying to bully him, the way he was talking to him. But then when he ran into Shakur Stevenson, it was a different ball game. He didn't keep that energy. Shakur right in front of his face told him, "You easy work. You started boxing late. You get cooked too easy." Shakur gave him no respect in his face. Ramirez, Jay Smith, there's more people that don't like Teo and blackball Teo by labeling him a racist and all sorts of things to diminish Teo when he fighting them guys. Mind you, he not even on the pound-for-pound list. You kind of going the wrong way about it because you're not holding Teofimo Lopez accountable. You're saying more people that don't like Teo and blackball by labeling him a racist. Well, I think you understand, Ramirez. I hope that I don't have to be the one to teach you this. But if you say racist stuff about people, then you're probably going to be labeled a racist. That's not just Teo, bro. If you go around calling black people monkeys and bringing out watermelons and, you're probably going to be called a racist. Now, is he being labeled a racist or is he behaving like a racist? So I would rephrase what you're saying. I would say it like this. A lot of people don't like Teo because he was behaving like a racist. You see, there's a difference with just labeling him and him behaving a way that got him that title. So you gotta do better, Ramirez. You gotta learn how to hold people accountable. Do better, bro. Don't ever support racism. I got love for Teofimo Lopez. I support him as a fighter. But when he says some racist shit, I'm gonna call him out too. So if you're one of those, like your last name is Ramirez, if you're one of those Hispanics that you cool with the racism, you know, don't support it over here, bro. At least sit it out when it comes to that subject, because it's not going to go good for you. West does it. Barrios beats Ryan. I think Barrios Ben is the fight I want. I mean, that's the fight you want, but he has to win it. You got to beat him. You got to win it in the ring. And Ryan Garcia is a real good fight for Mario Barrios. Tough fight. I think Barrios is going to be the favorite, or for the strength that he is the reigning world champion. Ryan Garcia is moving up. But it's a good fight, man. I haven't made a prediction on that one, by the way. Tough to predict this one for me. The league. Teo did it to himself. Teo elevator don't go all the way up to the top. But you see what I'm saying? We have to hold people accountable. Don't come with that bullshit that, oh no, it's the fans. They misunderstood him. It's 2025, bro. We know what's acceptable and what's not. And what Teo was doing was not acceptable. Get real, family. Because I could be a fan of a fighter, but if he does some shit, I'm going to call him out for it. I'm not going to be a fanboy and be like, no, what happened is that, you know, he was messed up in the head. And I don't even want to hear none of that goofy stuff. Al Booger. Oh, on the floor channel. Ramirez. Bro. Ahora, this why fighters get soft. Be for real. Bernard Hopkins disrespect. Oh, you're going that route. You're really going that route. Take a 24-hour break. You could come back tomorrow. Now you want to defend racist by bringing up other stuff and bringing up other talking points. We're not talking about Hopkins. We're not talking about what happened all the time. We're talking about what Teofimo did. The worst thing you could do when we're talking about somebody is try to bring up somebody else. And you try to bring up somebody black. Like, you out of here. Ramirez, when you come back, just don't even bring up that subject. Because I'm giving you one shot. Because you make good comments. You make good talking points. I'm giving you one shot. But I already see your stance on that subject. I already see how you get down. You're one of those Hispanics. All I'm telling you, bro, stay away from that subject when you come back. Because the next time you bring up that subject, you're going to get blocked. I gave you one shot, 24-hour break, because I know you contribute. But the next time you bring up the subject of race, where you're defending racists, I know Hispanics like you. I know your talking points already. I know who you voted for, all of that stuff. The next time you bring it up, you're getting blocked, homie. Don't do it to yourself. Daniel Negron. Teo talked about PR fighters not being good until Matias stepped up to him and his dad. I mean, look, I'm going to be honest. I don't think Teofimo Lopez ducks Subriel Matias. I think Subriel is a fighter who, at the time, his stocks was down. You know, he had lost to this dude, you know, in super convincing fashion. Had one or two tune-ups in with people that we never heard of. So at that time, his stocks was down. Shakur was not trying to... Teofimo was not trying to fight him after that. He tried to fight somebody. Look who he's going to fight. Shakur Stevenson. Monster fight. Super fight. Mega fight. So, and now look at the allegations on Subriel Matias with the steroids. Not the allegations. He tested positive. I don't know if they've already tested the B sample. I don't know if they requested for a B sample test. But Subriel Matias is in hot water right now. He's on the hot seat. On the hot seat. And I noticed, you see how people are when it's some fighters, they go ham, they go berserk on it. And then when it's other fighters, they don't even talk about it. Notice how they're not even giving Subriel Matias that same energy. Where's that energy at? He popped dirty. Why people not going ham on that shit? Shakur hands, they allow him to fight next month. You see? Now, they're allowing him to fight next month, is their opponent gonna be allowed to fight next month? Are they gonna pull out, or are they gonna say, yo, we still? I'm gonna tell you something. You pop dirty, and you're gonna fight my fighter, which by the way I don't have any fighter. But if I'm managing a fighter, if I'm training a fighter, if I'm involved with a fighter, and you pop dirty, I'm pulling them out. I'm pulling him out. Shakur hands, they say he was under the allowed limit. Like I said, bro, I'm pulling my fighter out. Period, point blank. Shakur hands, yes, the opponent may pull out. Is that I'm not fighting you. You pop dirty. Why would I even fight you? And the stuff about he was under the allowed limit, well, guess what? You don't know what limit he was under or not. You don't know how long ago he did it or how much he's been doing. You don't even know how many wins he got off of that joint. So, no, I wouldn't allow my fighter to step in there with him. Al Booger. That's what I heard. Man, listen. I don't want to hear all that. Oh, he was under the allowed limit. That's crazy. That's... Think about this. Why wasn't Ryan Garcia under the allowed limit too? Al Booger. Like the limit is 0.1. And Subriel was like 0.067, something like that. Okay. He was coming off of that cycle and still got caught with it in his system. That's what that told me. He wasn't able to fully cycle off of it successfully. That's what happened when you don't fully cycle off. Caught you with a little bit still in there, buddy. The Leaks 24. I did see too about him being under the limit. But who knows what he's getting out of there. It's not even what he's getting out of there. It's that if you're cycling off, eventually you're going to be clean. That's what that will be also consistent. Where you cleaning yourself out and boom, getting caught with it still in your system. MAW, in my humble opinion, it was like Teo was playing the Ryan card of controversy sells. But any publicity is not always good publicity. People remember, I don't know, MAW, is that you often take the stance of you going into the people's minds and you deciding what they're thinking. Like you go into the promoter's hands and you decide what they're thinking. Now you're going into Teofimo's head and then you're thinking that's what he's thinking. But I'm telling you what he know. He made racist comments. Now, if you want to say, well, I think this is what he was thinking, you're getting into conspiracy and speculations. And I don't get into conspiracy and speculation. He made racist comments, and that's not acceptable. That's a fact. Al Booger, granted, it was still in his system, no doubt. But that's what I'm saying. You pop dirty, I'm not allowing my fighter to fight you. That's it. Go fight somebody else. Or go clean yourself up. When you test clean, we can fight. We're not fighting no dirty fighter. Shakur hands. Some people say that Austrian was in a lot of supplements and now it's being actually tested for. So it keeps coming up. Oh, well, you can't go berserk on Ryan Garcia and then now bring, oh, well, it's on everything. Those people that say that now, they wasn't saying it when Ryan Garcia popped dirty. I don't want to hear it now. Some people, they need to recheck what they said when it was Ryan Garcia. That's not what they said. Now there's a bunch of supplements. Well, I don't know where those supplements is at because all these other fighters ain't popping dirty for that. So I'm not buying it. That's cap. MAW, yeah. Comments definitely not acceptable, and people definitely remember that. There you have it. Getting in the frame of mind, you know, you could play psychic and say, well, I think what Teo was thinking was this. But in reality, we both know that you don't know what was in Teo's mind. If I'm thinking that, oh, maybe he's an undercover racist, there's no way for you to really dispute that either. But I will tell you, when Teofimo Lopez, his pops, when they got into a scuffle with Keyshawn Davis and they team, somebody that was in there specifically told me that Teo Pops was yelling the N-word, you know, with the hard R at the end? These effing these effing It's not a lot of people MAW that say it like that. I don't know if you're familiar with who really says it like that. Or I don't know if you're familiar with who says it like that when they're angry. But that's the way that Teofimo Lopez Pops was saying it. And, you know, if you really want to get into people's head, like you're getting into Teofimo's, try to get into his pop's head. Let me know what you think about that. What do you think about that? What do you think about him yelling that word like that towards black folks over and over? You effing with that hard R at the end. Do you know who are the people that yell it like that towards black folk? Shakur hands. And before it wasn't banned or on that list. I mean, I don't know about all that. I just know that Ryan Garcia popped dirty and people went ham on him. Now, Subriel Matias popped dirty for the same thing. Those are the facts. MAW, actions always has reactions. That's why it pays to think before you say it. It does pay to think before you say it, but if you're a racist, it's hard to not say it. It's going to come out. It's going to come out. Like, you do know that racist people say racist things, right, MAW? You know that, right? So, I know that you're discarding that. You know, you're going into Teofimo's head and framing it as a mistake, but racist people say racist things. They do all the time. It happens. Shakur hands. Normally the racists are trying to get under your skin. Who jokes around with racist stuff? Think about it. Who jokes around with racist stuff when they're mad? Who jokes around with racist stuff when they get drunk or when they high? Racist people. So it's easy to understand why some people see Teo as a racist. It's hard to understand why you would say, oh, well, you know, he just wasn't thinking, but he's not that type of guy. He just says racist things because, I don't know. The logic that you're trying to put together is more, you know, you pro Teofimo. You pro Teofimo, so you're kind of looking at it from his side. The least, nah, Teo was wrong for all that. It was for publicity or whatever. He was real goofy. Nasty work. You don't do that. You don't do that. You put dirt on your name when you do that. MAW. People always hold it against them. That's on them. They chose that path. They got to live it. West does it. This was not your energy with Ryan J. Smith. This was not my energy with Ryan. I'm going to look up the video and I'm going to share it with you. I'm going to look up the video and I'm going to share it with you. With Ryan Garcia, the video's up. I posted a video saying that I would never support him. I would never rock with him. And then after that, all the stuff about mental health that you don't believe in, if you don't believe in, I don't know what to tell you. You don't believe in, I believe that he's dealing with mental health stuff. You don't believe it. So that's our differences right there. That was easy to settle. I thought he was a racist. And then I said, wait a minute, look, this guy's dealing with shit. He's hanging out with black people. There's black people right there in the team saying, nah, yo, this dude. So you have a different perception on Ryan Garcia because you don't like him, West does. You hate Ryan Garcia. So you'll never accept his mental health issues. So yes, I said that he's having mental health episodes. That's right. I'll repeat that. I stand on that. Easy. Mr. Tommy Gun, J. Smith, when was the last time you called the fight wrong? You seem to be very accurate. When was the last time? Nah, I've called fights wrong. I called the fight wrong a few months ago. I can't remember I gotta think about it, but trust me, I've called fights wrong. Now, big fights, honestly, I can't remember right now, bro. That's crazy. The fact that I can't remember which the last fight that I called wrong, that's crazy. But I don't get every single one of them. Shakur hands or trying to get under the skin. Out Booger, I actually agree. Kind of feel like Ryan was really just bugging out. Come on, baby. The guy's having a clear mental health episode where he's, interacting with police officer, interacting with mental health treatment and all that stuff. The problem with mental health is that all that stuff is medical records that are sealed. So we could never really find out all the things that he goes through, the medication that he has to take, and people just won't accept mental health. They'll just say, nah. If you don't like somebody, you won't accept it. But me, myself, I look at the totality of the situation and I make an assessment. If you don't like Ryan Garcia, Wes does say you don't like Ryan Garcia, you're going to make a different assessment than I am. MAW, you made a pick on Mario versus Ryan yet? Nah, I haven't. I haven't done so. I have not been able to make that pick. I've been looking at that fight. Of course, I'm going to make my prediction, but I haven't done so. Shakur hands, I said something bad this year when my deputy supervisor disrespected me and treated me less than. What do you mean? What do you mean by disrespecting you and treating you less than? Be specific. What do you mean disrespecting you? Be specific. Al Booger, Teo and his pops are just racists. You see, it's reasonable to understand why somebody would say that. I've questioned it. I've thought about it. Like, damn, I'm old enough to know who are the people that usually go to the racist card to joke around about. It ain't everybody that does that. It's specific people. And usually when people, you never heard the saying, when people joke about something a lot, they usually deep down inside they mean it. They actually feel that way. So in order to release that, they release it as a joke. Well, it's jokey. Nah. I got you, Ryan. I got you. It's not jokey. Most of the time it's for real. That's just the reality. Mike, peace, Jay. Boxing has no room for racism nor PEDs. Teo and Ryan are admitted racist. No excuses. One racist, always a racist. Conor is not on Devin's level. Barrios should beat Ryan. Whoa, you got Barrios beating Ryan. You got Conor is not on Devin's level. Wait a minute, because Conor Benn might actually go down and fight the winner of Ryan Garcia versus Mario Barrios. So what you're saying is that Conor Benn is going to move down to fight Mario Barrios. That's the fight that you got to predict. But I agree, boxing has no rooms for racism or PEDs. When it comes to racism, I don't think Teo, he's convinced me at times that he's so racist because of the things that he kept saying. Ryan Garcia, I feel like he had a mental health episode. I don't believe that he's so racist, and that's why I don't judge the two situations the same way. Ryan Garcia is publicly known that he's struggled with mental health. So I respect it. I understand that everybody's not going to see mental health the same way or accept it the same way, but I show empathy when it comes to that. But no excuses. If I see somebody as a racist, I'm going to call him out on that. But I want to see Conor Benn. I want to see Conor Benn, who's he's going to end up fighting. Who's he's going to end up getting in the ring with. Shakur hands and Billy. But it was a draw. Shakur, I said something bad this year. What did you say about Mbili? Man, you got me lost, Shakur Hands. Did you say something about Mbili specifically? And you got it wrong, or what happened? Because I'm going to tell you something, my peoples. We've seen a lot of good fights. 2026 has given us a great year. 2025 has given us a great year for boxing. The Hydro Grind, salute, my brother. But 2026, He's going to kick off with a bang. January 31st. What a fight, my peoples. Come on now. Come on, man. Come on, man. Morning, everyone tuning in. Bam. Salute. The Hydro Grind. How was the first episode of Goofiest of the Oofiest last night? I missed it. You know we had to kick it off. We was talking about Terrence Crawford wanting $100 million to rematch Canelo Alvarez. We was talking about this fight. And, yo, we went at it. It's crazy. Goofiest of the Oofiest, episode 1, we had one person who dared to be great. So we had one caller. Shout out to Tejan. He called in to express his opinion about that amount of money. You know, Terrence Crawford wanting $100 million to fight Canelo Alvarez, which is something that we're going to be talking about. Some people say, yo, that's too much money. Some people say, give him his paper. I say give it to him. In my opinion, you got to pay him. That's my opinion. But this fight right here, I digress. This fight right here, going down. Shakur hands, no, Jay, you missed my comments. You're answering older ones when I'm on point. You said they're trying to get under your skin. Normally the races trying to get under your skin. I don't know, Shakur hands, you put it. It's a lot easier. Like when there's a lot of comments going in, it's a lot easier, bro, if you just repeat the comment than if you tell me and I'm trying to find it. My vision is not that good anymore, bro. Like these little letters, I be struggling. So when a few paragraphs scroll up, you're asking me to find that shit and read it, bro. You might as well sucker punch me right here. Shakur hands, I say you picked and Billy, and it was a draw versus Lester. Oh, okay, there you have it. Okay, got it. I picked them Billy, and it was a draw. But I'm going to say this. I'll take that draw. And you know why? And Billy's not somebody that I follow like that. Neither is Lester. Those are two fighters that I really... As a matter of fact, that was the first and Billy fight that I called that I actually sat down to watch. First time. So I'll take that. It's not the same as predicting a fight of this magnitude. I'll take that draw. Beat Skull. Bust Smart. 100 mil is good. Unless David fights Canelo. Vivo or Buff fans are going to be happy with him and Bud. So, look. Terrence Crawford will never step in the ring versus David Benavidez, right? And he'll never step in the ring versus Dimitri Bivol. Those fights are never going to happen. He's either going to rematch Canelo Alvarez for $100 million or he's going to go back down to 160 and fight Johnny Beck. That's it. Those are the only two options. I know people want Crawford to fight the bigger guys. I know that the same crowd who said Canelo was too big now want him to go to 175. Like, that sounds delusional at this point. Like, wait a minute. You thought he was too small, 168, but you want him to go to 160? You want him to go to 170 now? You want him to go to 175? You want him to... What are we doing? So it's like people can't help it. They want him to keep... If he was to go up and beat one of those guys, they're going to be like, nah, he still ain't beat nobody until he beat Usyk. He got to move up to heavyweight or it doesn't really mean anything. And the funny thing about all this is that just look at Floyd Mayweather's career. Floyd Mayweather capped off his career at the welterweight division. He did a catch weight for 154. Nobody asked Floyd Mayweather to move up to 160. De La Hoya went all the way up to 160. Trinidad went all the way up to 160. Nobody asked Floyd to do it. They let him fight where he was good at, where he was comfortable at. Nobody asked Floyd to fight at 168. Why you want Crawford to go all the way up to 175? Like, how much do you actually hate this guy? Why do you hate this guy so much, especially since he pummeled Errol Spence? I could never understand it. I could never get it. Mike, Jay, you funny as... Bro, my eyes can't see these small-ass letters. No question. Definitely earn $100 million. He's the best on earth. That's what I'm saying, my guy. Terrence Crawford is the face of boxing. Look, I pulled out another phone with a bigger screen. I'm going to have to do it like that so maybe I could read these comments, man, because I'll be going blind. Like, don't even tell me, yo, my comment, go back up and read it, because might as well sucker punch me. Instead of telling me to go back up and read it, just repeat the shit, bro. Repeat it, and I'll read it the next time you repeat it. Hold on, let me open up the comments over here. Here we go. B-Skull, David needs a formidable dance partner. I feel Bud will do better than Canelo. I understand that you feel Bud will do better than Canelo, but you got to start feeling like Bud is never going to fight him, so it's a waste of time to feel that way. You see that? You feel that way, Bud doesn't want to fight him. That's what you need to feel. MAW, I swear, some fans expect fighters to climb up until they lose. Quite ridiculous. I'm telling you, people just will keep going up until you lose. We need to see you lose badly. It's not going to happen. You didn't ask Floyd Mayweather to climb up to 175. Don't ask Terrence Crawford to do it either. I think it's simple enough. I think it's simple enough. Libra 809. You got it, brother. If Rayo Romero, who you got? Shakur versus Teo. I got Shakur. Teo's going to win that fight. Psych. Psych. That's New York shit, in case you don't know. Psych. Shakur Stevenson got this, man. Shakur Stevenson by unanimous decision. It's going to be a good fight. It's going to be a good one. But Shakur's going to do him in. Ike Mike. They still want to see Bud lose, Jay. You damn right. Just repost that shit. They want to see him lose. Badly. Desperately. They mad that he keep winning. They mad that he keep accomplishing. The same people that thought Canelo was going to knock him out, now they like, nah, he got to fight somebody that's bigger. He wasn't big enough. MAW. I see a bunch of fans expecting Naoya to climb till he lose. Imagine, bro, they wanted Naoya Inoue to fight Tank Davis. And it's like, why people don't keep that same energy for everybody? Because if you asking Naoya Inoue to climb up multiple divisions to fight Tank Davis, why you can't ask Tank Davis to climb up multiple divisions so he could fight them guys? He could fight the guys at the welterweight divisions. Why you don't ask Tank Davis to climb up to the welterweight division and fight Conor Benn? Jump up 2 divisions yourself. You see, so fans only want certain fighters to move up and keep fighting the bigger guy until you get beat, hopefully until we get to see you lose. The Hydro Grind. I feel the only way Teo can win is by KO because he's not going to outbox Shakur. And the KO is not going to happen. Shakur by decision. Decisión unánime, manito. Le va a dar una decisión. Es a trompa limpia que le va a caer. Libra 809. Hydro Grind. Teo hasn't shown no power at 140. Well, I got to say, you know, styles make fights. So Teo has power. It's just that if you're going to fight somebody that's going to move around, that's going to, or if you're there, look at the way that he fought his last fight. He wasn't trying to knock the guy out, blow him out of the water. He was trying to outbox him. He was trying to move. He was trying to, but Teo, he's going to show that he has that power. And Shakur Stevens is going to show that he has that skill, that ring IQ. I expect a competitive fight because Teofimo Lopez is a great fighter. But ultimately, Shakur Stevenson is going to show y'all stuff that you never seen him do. You're going to see stuff from Shakur that you haven't seen him perform in the ring before. Expect it. B-Skull, I'm going to ask you again. Best Dominican boxer of all time. Okay, I'm gonna just say Joan Guzman. Joan Guzman. I'm rocking with him. MAW. Who on Teo versus Shakur undercard? Honestly, I know that it's a real good card, but I don't know though. I don't know. I know that there's some real good fights. I don't know that they have the whole card put together, but I did see a post from Shakur where Shakur's asking the fans to tag um Keyshawn Davis so he could fight on the undercard. Shakur versus Teo card. If y'all could look that up, man, let me know. I don't know. I don't think the whole card been announced. I don't think the whole card been announced, my peoples. The Hydrograd, what do you know is that both are going to bring the best version of themselves. This is the biggest fight for both of them. Of course, this is the biggest fight of Teofimo Lopez's career. This is the biggest fight of Shakur's career. Right here. This is it. We're going to find out who's the best 140-pounder. And Shakur, guess what? A win over Teofimo Lopez is going to drop him. Is going to get him closer in that pound-for-pound list to that #1 spot. I don't know how many spots he's going to go get closer. I think right now Shakur is he like #7 on the pound-for-pound list? 7 or 8? I'm not sure where he's at right now, but a win over multi-division, unified, reigning champion, Teofimo Lopez, you're going to see Shakur Stevenson go like this in the rankings. Boop, 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 boop. And his stocks, they're going to soar. Bam, 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 boogie in the building. Salute, my brother. What do you think about this fight, man? Who you got winning it? I told you who's going to win it. You know what happens when you go against Jay Stradamus. But if you want to experience that pain again, who you got winning this fight? Bang, bang, boogie. Matias beats both Shakur and Teofimo Lopez. Man, you're lucky that fight's not going to happen. Even with steroids, they both beat him. Even with steroids. Listen to me. Even with steroids, Subriel Matias is not going to beat them. Let that sizzle in your spirit, bro. Even with steroids, it ain't happening. Let that sizzle in your spirit, my guy. And I respect Subriel Matias. He can fight. He can fight. But what you have to understand is that Subriel Matias is a fighter that takes too much punishment. He take way too many punishment. Way too many punches, way too much punishment. You know, you watch his fights, even not just the ones where he lost. By the way, he got dominated when he lost. But fights that he won, that he was getting beat up, and he won by stoppage. Like, he ultimately stopped his opponent. And I don't remember who was it that was saying that Subriel Matias is not as good as people think he is. He's just a real hard puncher. He a power puncher. He can stop people. But now he popped dirty, so what is that going to mean going forward? Are we going to see the stoppages stopping? What's going to happen now that he popped dirty? B-Skull, where you think the fight? It's already been announced, bro. It's in New York. This fight's going down in New York, bro. They already announced it. The venue's already... Is it here? Did they announce it here? Let me see. They already announced the venue. But, listen, Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson, they're both going to be on their A game. It's the biggest fight for both of them. Obviously, a win like this is career-defining. This is a career-defining win because you're going to beat somebody that's accomplished and that has already made a name for themselves. That's going to add to your legacy in every positive way possible. JJ's in the house. Jay Smith, I'm back in California. Let's go. Salute, my brother. Bam. Bam, bam, boogie. Both Teo and Shakur have 0 KO power. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, bam, bam, boogie. You think you need to knock people out to beat them? That's what you think? Because you remember what happened when you said that when Shakur was going to fight Zepeda. How did that help all of Shakur's opponents? That he don't got KO power. How did that help his opponents? Subriel Matias got beat up. And he didn't get stopped. He just got beat up. MAW. Teo Unified, Undisputed, and Lineal. Current WBO. And Lineal at 140 versus Shakur. 4-belt holder in 3 divisions. Stepping up to a 3rd. You have all the ingredients right here for a super fight of epic proportions. Bang Bang Boogie. Boring chess match. You're going to be disappointed. You said that about Zepeda, and then it turned out to be fireworks inside of a phone booth for the whole fight. You just don't like them, Bang Bang Boogie. When you don't like people, you become a hater, and then all you can do is float a negative narrative. Like, notice that everything you say is negative. Oh, they will get beat. They'll get beat by somebody that we're not even talking about. Oh, it's going to be boring because you become a hater. You enjoy boxing by hating. Bam Bam Boogie. Nobody wants to see 12 rounds chess match. But nobody is not going to be a 12 rounds chess match. Jay Stradamus is telling you it's going to be a good fight. You're just on denial until you have to see it. I'm telling you it's going to be a good fight. Shakur Stevenson is going to show out. I know you hate him. I know you don't want him to get a bigger win than all the wins of your favorite fighters. But it's going to happen. As much as you want to hate on Shakur Bam Bam Boogie, he's going to keep getting the wins. He's going to keep beating the guys that you think can't beat him. And that's all you're going to be able to say. Oh, I didn't like the way he beat him. Well, you're going to have to keep holding on to that line, bro, because he's going to keep winning and keep beating him until he gets to the #1 spot, pound for pound in the world, and becomes the face of boxing. You're going to hate your way throughout the whole process of Shakur becoming the guy. Let that sizzle in your spirit, bro. It's good. But look, I got to say, because as a fighter, we was talking about the racist stuff and the comments that Teofimo Lopez made. As a fighter, I respect what he does in the ring. And I respect what he's been able to accomplish. So I know Teofimo is a great fighter. He's a special fighter. And he's not going to show up to lose. He's not going to show up to get his ass whooped. He's going to put up a good fight. And I know he's going to win rounds. He's going to have his moments. But ultimately, Shakur Stevenson is the guy. He's the guy. Bisco, this fight will be similar to Tank versus Lamont. It could play out identical to that fight. Identical. Because remember, you saw what Shakur did to Zepeda. He specifically fought Zepeda in a way to shut Bam Bam Boogie and fans like him up. He fought like that. Like, oh, you said I'm going to run the whole fight? You said this guy's going to walk me down? You said this guy's going to beat me up? I'm going to stand in the phone booth and beat him up. That's exactly what he did. So you can expect, you know, an exciting showdown with Teofimo Lopez, because that's what Shakur Stevenson is trying to do. He's trying to raise his star power. And this is a career-defining win. Regardless, you know the haters are going to hate. But this is going to be a big win for Shakur Stevenson. Remember that. Remember I told you. Ike Mike, Teo truly lost to Sander Martin and Jermaine Ortiz. Shakur's superior and won't lose. Listen, bro. Shakur Stevenson is that dude. Shakur hands. Man, I'm gonna have to do a comedy boxing channel. Comedy boxing hour. I don't know. MAW. Teo versus Shakur could be fire. In my humble opinion. We'll enjoy winner to unify 140, surely. Hopefully. We'll see. 100%, Jay. Look, man. This fight is going to dictate what the landscape in the 140 division is going to look like. This fight right here. Let that sizzle in your spirit, my peoples. The biggest gun in the division, the man in the division, is going to be decided by this fight right now. Let it marinate. Let it sizzle in your spirit. And And I'm gonna ask y'all the magic question real quick. I'm gonna ask y'all the magic question. After this fight, Shakur Stevenson beats Teofimo Lopez. Where is that gonna put him on the pound for pound list? That's the magic question. Because he's already on it. He's already on it. Look at the accomplishments. What's gonna happen? Where is he gonna land after that fight? Ding, ding. He's going to climb up the rankings, buddy. B-Skull, you gotta ask Bam Bam Boogie if he has Tank beating Lamont. If he did, then you know what's up. I think he did have Tank beating him. I think he did. I think Bang Bang Boogie even had Canelo beating Crawford by split decision. MAW. That's an interesting take. Very interesting. JJ's in the house. Shakur gets the same hate as Crawford. That's the thing. Shakur gets the hate. It's almost like hate by association. That's what you see. The people that hate Terrence Crawford hate Shakur just as much. The people that want Crawford to lose, they want to see Shakur lose just as much. You got to understand that. You got to take it for what it is. I already realized. I saw it coming. I understand it. And I accept it. But let this sizzle in your spirit, my peoples. No matter how much you hate Shakur Stevenson, it's going to be real hard to build a fake narrative on his resume after he put the Swiss, the Dre, and the Apple Beats on Teofimo Lopez. Terrence Crawford himself said it. Shakur's going to beat him up. Remember the narrative on Zepeda that Shakur was going to be running all night? Zepeda was going to be chasing him down. Y'all building that same narrative again, huh? You building that same narrative once again, you're going to be disappointed. You're going to be disappointed when the fight goes down. Shakur's going to shut you down, bro. I'm just giving you the real deal Holyfield of how this fight plays out. If you don't want to accept it, you're going to have to deal with it when it comes up. Gary Flower. Hello, good afternoon, my friends. Salute, Gary. I'm telling you, my peoples, you're going to see it play out that way. Shakur Stevenson is going to do what he does. He's going to win this fight in beautiful fashion. And you're going to see the hate anyway. You're going to see people, come up with their narrative around this fight and why he won and why it's not that big. Look, I asked you guys the magic question, right? Hold on. Because I'm going to put this on video. I'm going to put this on video, and this is going to be reposted. So you respond wisely, because there's going to be a receipt on this one. Here's the magic question. Here's the magic question. Get ready and respond wisely. Devin Haney beat Brian Norman Jr. as the first fight in the welterweight division. Think about that. Devin moved up to the welterweight division and beat Brian Norman Jr., who people said was going to knock him out. That's a monster win. That's a big win. Now, Shakur Stevenson is going to be moving up to 140 and making his debut versus Teofimo Lopez. You tell me. What is the bigger win? Devin Haney beating Brian Norman Jr. or Shakur Stevenson beating Teofimo Lopez? What is the bigger win? You tell me, my people. Y'all could tell me. Who gets the bigger win? JJ's in the house, 5:30 in the morning, California time, listening to boxing. Salute, my brother. It's priceless. It's priceless. You can't buy this. You can't buy this. You can't beat this with a baseball bat. Bisco, Teo. Bisco knows what the deal is. You know what the deal is. And then, my peoples, I gotta hold you to it. I gotta hold you to it, my peoples. With regards to Terrence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, people are saying that Terrence Crawford don't deserve the bag, shouldn't get the money. Here's the magic question for you, my peoples. Make that prediction. Terrence Crawford says he wants $100 million for that rematch with Canelo Alvarez. Now, should he get the $100 million? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. You know why? Number one, he's the face of boxing. Number two, he doesn't have to fight a rematch. He beat your ass convincingly. Put the baits on Canelo Alvarez. He don't need a rematch. He don't need it. He can say, yo, go kick rocks. But if you got 100 mils for me, we could handle it. We could do what we got to do. So in my opinion, give him his $100 million. God damn, look at this motherfucking battery. Trying to play games with your boy Jay Smith. Give Terrence Crawford $100 million if you want the rematch. Canelo need the rematch. The way that he got beat up in the first one convincingly, he need the rematch. He want to prove himself to his peoples. But Bud don't need a rematch. That's just the reality, my people. Crawford don't need it. Mike, Teo has the better accolades and accomplishment. Devin was facing much more adversity and hate. So I gotta say, look, Devin Haney, was being disrespected like crazy. That's something that we have to acknowledge, bro. Devin Haney was being disrespected like crazy leading up to the fight. Oh, he's scared. He's going to run from Brian Norman Jr. He's going to get knocked out. He's going to get beat up, walk down, all of that. Well, Devin Haney reminded people who he's been this whole time. But Shakur Stevenson got his own situation that he's dealing with too. Where people saying that he didn't beat nobody. Where people saying that, he hasn't beat stars. He hasn't, his resume trying to diminish his accomplishments. Even when they said William Zepeda was going to beat him, after he put the beast on Zepeda from inside of a phone booth, they still didn't give him credit, bro. They still didn't do it. But now he's going to get in there with Teofimo Lopez. And what you going to be able to say when he put the Swiss, Dre, and Apple beats on him? I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to be the new hate narrative. Come on now. Let's keep it 100. JJ said that has Crawford deserved every penny. He earned it. The face of boxing. He's the face of boxing. JJ said that I'm going to make money once again with the fight. Crawford and Canelo. Man, listen. Man, listen. When they announced that fight, you could either make money or you could watch from the sidelines. Or you could be a goofball and put money on Canelo, which is the same as flushing it down the toilet. Which, by the way, I try to tell you this. I told this to a lot of people. You put how much on Canelo? Bro, you might as well just took that money, flush it in the toilet. It would have been the same thing. There was no hope. No hope. And after you, I can't believe I'm going to have to let you know, man. I'm going to have to let you know. Let me explain to you something, my people. After you watch that first fight, you need to understand, for that rematch, there is no hope. There is no hope. Canelo getting beat up worse. So don't have it. Do not have expectations. Do not have hope. There is no hope, ladies and gentlemen. Canelo's gonna get beat up if they have a rematch. Crawford's gonna beat him up. Beat him up. You understand what I'm saying? So put your money on Terrence Crawford and just get that. Get that paper. That's how it's going down. That rematch, Canelo Alvarez is getting beat up, my people. Now, you're going to pay Terrence Crawford his $100 million. You're going to give him his paper. They could make the fight happen and take another beating. But now you're going to see, is Canelo Alvarez looking for a payday? He want payday. He want payday. It's Canelo Alvarez who want that payday. Because at the end of the day, today, 2025, December 1st, Terrence Crawford is the face of boxing. Give him his $100 million. That's just the reality, my peoples. I'm just calling it how I see it. Calling it how I see it. And look, for those of you just tuning in, welcome to another episode of Boxing for Breakfast. Y'all know what it is, man. Jay Smith in the building. Yo, Conor Benn announced earlier today, he broke the news himself, that he is the WBC mandatory at the welterweight division. WBC mandatory at the welterweight division. My peoples, Conor Benn announced it himself on IG Live. He is the mandatory for the WBC at the welterweight division. It looks like he's going to be fighting either Ryan Garcia or Mario Barrios, whoever wins in that fight coming up. So it looks like Conor Benn is going to be bringing the destroyer mentality and attitude back to the welterweight division. Get ready. There's going to be some real smoke. Ike, Mike, Jay, Bernie the Boxer said on a recent interview that a rematch is fake news. He interviewed with YSM Sports. So, there is no rematch. There is no rematch. There's supposedly a rematch clause, but there's no rematch. So, there's really no fake news because I don't think anybody has said that there's a rematch. The only thing that's been floated out there, if you want a rematch, you're going to have to pay 100 mils. Bernie the Boxer actually said that himself. But there's no rematch. I don't think if there's anybody out there saying that there is a rematch, it's definitely fake news. They haven't agreed to nothing. Shakur hands, yes, sir. We're always in the building. You know how we do it. Y'all know how we do it, my peoples. Come on now. Is Conor Benn going to fight Ryan Garcia? Is he going to fight Mario Barrios? Is he going to fight for a vacant title? There's different possibilities of what we could see with Conor Benn. Think about it. Think about it. If Ryan Garcia wins his fight, we may actually see Ryan Garcia versus Conor Benn. And then if Mario Barrios gets the W, there you have it. So Conor Benn versus either one of those fighters is an explosive fight. I'm looking forward to seeing the destroyer at the welterweight division. I can tell you that right now. It's going to be good. It's going to be good, ladies and gentlemen. JJ's in the house. Jay Smith. There is no rematch set yet. But that's what I'm saying. I don't think that anyone has said that there's a rematch. I could be wrong, right? Because it's not like I'm all over social media and every Facebook page. But I don't think I've seen anybody report that there's a rematch. At this point, at least. All I've seen is that, Crawford want to get paid. You want a rematch, you're going to have to pay. Age is 17. Who do you have, Jay Smith, Mario or Garcia, if they fight? Barrios or Garcia, if they fight. What do you mean if they fight, bro? That fight is set. Mario Barrios and Ryan Garcia are going to fight. I haven't made that prediction yet, bro. Look, let me tell you like this. Let me tell you like this, my guy. When it comes to Ryan Garcia versus Mario Barrios, that's a tough prediction to make. You have two young fighters who are both strong, both got knockout power, both are very skilled. And it's a tough one to make because styles make fights. I will tell you, a fight is going to break out early in this one. I think Mario Barrios is going to try to apply that pressure on Ryan Garcia. You know the counter-punching abilities that Ryan has. And I think they're both going to explode upon each other by the first round. So it's going to be a good competitive fight. We're going to see fireworks. But I'm not ready to make that prediction yet, bro. Soon. I'll be making it soon, though. JJ's in the house. Ben will beat both of them. We shall see. Those are all some good fights. I'm looking forward to seeing Conor Benn. Because you also have, look. Here's something to take into consideration, right? You got Conor Benn beating both of them. But just remember, he just fought at 168. 2 fights in that division. Acclimated to that weight class. Jumping down to 147 is not going to be no easy task. So we also have to see how is Conor Benn going to be able to perform after moving down 2 weight classes. Age 17, yeah, it's hard to debate, but I agree with JJ. That fight is set for February 21st. You're going to get that smoke. Mike, I don't see any true boxing accomplishment by Conor. He's overhyped. I mean, moving up 2 divisions and beating Chris Eubank Jr. is a huge accomplishment. Like, you don't realize it, but you're taking the hater route. This guy got a huge win, and you're saying he's overhyped. Come on, bro. That's big. And then, look, you're saying, who wants to see Conor versus Ryan? Out on 2 low-level fighters? Ryan, I don't know what you're talking about, bro. You really took the hater route. You don't like these guys. I get it. So when you don't like fighters, you're going to take a negative angle. You're going to take, you're going to have a negative stance. But when you like fighters, you don't make these kind of talking points. So I get it. You don't like them. And that's what you're going to say. That's how you're going to see it. But Conor Benn got a monster win over Chris Eubank Jr. I got a feeling you thought he was going to lose that fight, so that bothered you too. But he got a monster win, and moving down back to the welterweight division is going to be tough. It's going to be tough for him to go back down to 147 as far as, the physical aspect of it. Can he go down to that weight and still perform at that level? We're going to find out soon enough. But it's still yet to be seen as far as who's going to win between Ryan Garcia and Mario Barrios. That's going to tell us who's going to be possibly Conor Benn's next opponent. Because Ryan Garcia, if he wins, he can also vacate in favor of a rematch with Devin Haney. But then again, a fight with Conor Benn in the UK would be huge. They selling out an arena or something like that. My peoples, I want to give a shout out to everybody who tuned in this morning. I appreciate every one of you. Y'all already know, man. Right there, you see the link. Subscribe to Box Center 2.0. Goofiest of the Oofiest kicked off yesterday. We had the first caller, Tay John, calling in. Salute to Tay. Check out that first phone call. Very interesting conversation. It gives you an idea, too, what that dynamic is going to be. I'm going to be posting the first phone call from Goofiest of the Oofiest later today. Appreciate everybody showing love. Damn, 19 likes in 2 hours of action. Some people did me wrong today. But I appreciate everybody tuning in. I appreciate everybody showing the love. You know what it is, man. Tomorrow's episode of Boxing for Breakfast is going to be lit just like today. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. And let me just say this. Goofiest of the Oofiest. Because somebody asked me, yo, we going to be on today? No, my peoples. Goofiest of the Oofiest goes on every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. So it's only on Mondays. Keep that in mind, Because I don't want you to tune in tonight thinking, yeah, I'm going to call Jay Smith and I'm going to let him have it tonight. Which, by the way, I got to say this. All those people that's like, I'm going to call in Jay Smith and I'm going to let him have it. You're going to get it. They didn't call in. Scared to death. Scared to death. They don't want that smoke. But Tay John called in, gave a very interesting opinion of how he thought the situation should be managed with the people asking for $100 million and that type of money. And you guys are going to get to see that call soon. But my peoples, don't be scared. Monday. Hold on, my people. My peoples. Golly, I missed all your comments. Shit. Y'all been going in. JJ, word of the day. Take care of yourself. Enjoy life. Work hard. What you do, enjoy your family. That's what's up. We got to do it. So, again, my peoples, I want to give a shout out to everybody who tuned in to this morning's episode of Boxing for Breakfast. Agent 17, JJ Sendejas, Underrated Will. Who else was in the building, man? Ike Mike was hating on somebody. Shakur Hands. Bam Bam Boogie was hating as usual. Hating ass motherfucker. God damn. Ramirez, another hating ass motherfucker. Had to set him on a 24-hour break. Defending racism. But salute to you, my guy. Wes does it. Don't like Ryan Garcia, but you my G anyways. Bam. My peoples, I appreciate everybody that tuned in. You guys make this show what it is. If it wasn't for you, Boxing for Breakfast would not be lit. We lit because of you guys. JJ said, let's get them the fuck out of here. That's how we doing them. That's how we doing them. Listen. We're going to get more hate to talk tomorrow, of course. The haters got to bring in the hate. The haters got to bring in the hate. But it's just like sometimes JJ's and they has get it right, man. Get them the fuck out of here. Sometimes it's going to go down like that. My peoples, y'all know what it is, man. One love to everybody who tuned in. Y'all know it. This is another episode of Boxing for Breakfast. I'm Jay Smith. See you tomorrow, the same time, 6:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Goofballs. Bam.